to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Motocross Supercross podcast. This is episode 90, where we're going to be recapping the 450s of round 6 of the Pro Motocross series in Southwick, Massachusetts. I'm Adam, here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
What's going on, dude?
This is the good one right here. This is the one where all the badass racing was happening. The matchup between Eli Tomac and Marvin Musquin, and definitely everyone got to see exactly what we wanted to see.
Yes. Southwick, definitely for the books. It was a lot of battles. I like this episode because we can talk freely, like without doing any spoilers, because, you know, if you're listening to this one and not know what happened with the 250, then you're not listening right. So we can talk about everything, you know, like
everyone was super excited about getting the Southwick, riding in the sand. Barsha said he was excited. Tomac obviously coming in, winning a bunch of races. Marvin coming in hot after his moto win in Muddy Creek. So, you know, he wanted to win. And yeah, it was just a great battle between those two. 95 degrees in the heat, just pumping it out in the summertime. It was just perfect day for motocross.
Yeah, it was a great day, and actually it was a very popular one.
Here, let's start with qualifying, because we were all expecting Eli just to come out there and dominate, and actually Marvin put up the fastest time. He had a 207.315, and Eli had a 207.385. So it was actually really close between these two. And we knew just from that moment, it was going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Baggett was there in third. Justin Barsha was fourth fastest. And local boy Robert Marshall, fifth fastest time there. Did not do as well in the races, but... You
know, he put the laps in that week. He was trying to ride every time he could. He was already feeling it right there.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was definitely the highlight of his day here at Southwick, that fast qualifying time. Get everyone looking at him. Ken Roxon was sixth fastest. Chris Canning, seventh fastest. He was one of my fantasy picks, nice. And I will brag about that one. That one turned out pretty good. Cunningham, Bloss, Bogle, Webb, Cooper Webb back. Actually, there they are, both of them. Both the returning riders in 10th and 11th fastest of qualifying times. So we weren't sure who was going to do better. We were pretty positive Cooper Webb was going to do better than Justin Bogle.
Yeah, especially with Webb's backstory and with this track, you know, having good luck with it. But yeah, Justin Bogle actually surprised me. He did.
Yeah, he did. He was probably the best JGR rider of the weekend. He had his problems, but we'll get into his successes of the week too here in a second. Justin Hill, 13th fastest. So he was up there. Nicoletti, 20th fastest, had some problems.
Lorenzo Lacurzio in 18th.
Yep. Definitely a lot of movement between the qualifying times and how people finished in these motos. No one really finished like this. So, well, let's not wait any longer. Let's jump into this first moto and give everyone a little recap of what went down here. And it started off with Justin Bogle, who we were just talking about, pulling the whole shot.
Yeah, that's what it meant. Like, he came on fire. He was the Mike Alessi of the weekend. That should be our award. That should be our award, Mike Alessi Award for the starts, for whole shots.
Yeah, Justin Bogle definitely wins the Mike Alessi Awards. He had the whole shots, though his whole shot here in this first race was very short-lived, because by the time the camera even switched out of the corner, Roxon was in first, Marvin was in second, Barsha and Baggett were like side by side in third and fourth, and Bogle was already back to fifth. So as long as he got the credit for it, it was definitely the highlight of his weekend, because he had problems fading throughout these races.
Just that right there puts him with, you know, better than Cooper Webb in their debut for the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross.
Well, Cooper Webb ended up being way more consistent, but Bogle, it was like, yo, welcome back. He's like, yo, I'm back. What's up, everyone? So it was a pretty cool return for him to be out front in both those motos.
Yeah.
So we mentioned that Roxon was out front, and Roxon did pretty awesome. He was out front leading a lot of laps in this race. He had
that's right.
Barsha behind him. And it was just a terrible start for Tomac. He was probably around like maybe 10th or maybe even worse than that.
About not mid-pack, but right there. Yeah, once again, have to come back from the back, which is, you know, has been working out for him. So I didn't think there was going to be a problem. with it. And
Roxon was out front for probably like the first like 10 minutes of the race ish. He led 4 laps, and then Barsha was right there behind him. It started getting really close between Barsha and Musquin. It was like those 3 running right next to each other the whole time.
That was definitely a good battle.
Yeah, it was really good. And then Barsha passes Roxon right after the finish, and Musquin was like right behind him. And then Musquin also passes Roxon. So he faded pretty quick in just that little bit. And then Tomac ends up catching all them and is running 4th. So it was like the 4 top guys, everything we wanted to see. We had Barsha up there, Musquin, Ken Roxon, Eli Tomac. Those 4 guys right there. We're only missing Blake Baggett, and yeah, that's pretty much been those top 5 guys right there.
Yeah, that was what everybody wanted to see, the potential contenders for this championship.
But then Musquin passed Barsha, and Tomac passed Barsha. So then it was really everything we wanted to see. America versus France. Marvin and Eli battling for 1 and 2. And Marvin, he held off Tomac for like a good amount of this race. I mean, Marvin led 9 of the laps.
Yeah, he definitely felt the pressure from Tomac on this one. It was a great battle between the two. Everything, I felt like when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, I picked Musquin. Like I used my Musquin card too early. Like I should have given him another week, because how I picked him a couple weeks ago for the win.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought it was a pretty good strategy by Eli. He was just like, he's just going to put the pressure on Marvin and just wait for his opportunity. He was really patient with it. He made his pass, and then he started to pull away, and then that's when Marvin had his problems. When Marvin crashed, and we knew it was over. It was like, oh, here we go. We're going to battle it out to the end. Oh, wait, no, Marvin crashed.
Yeah, it worked out for sure. The pressure technique.
Yeah, he landed like right on the edge of the track, kind of in the real side. It was like part of the berm right there, and his front tire just stuck, and boom, he was down.
Yeah, I thought it was a little awkward how he just lost control of his front wheel.
Yeah, it's definitely that thick sand of Southwick biting him in the ass. But he was able to get up quick. He finished 2nd. And it still ended up being a pretty good day for him. But
well, I mean, they were like 14 seconds in front of everyone, right? They were pretty far in front. They got their gap on 3rd place, which was Justin Barsha.
Yeah, definitely. Because Marvin, after he crashed and got up, he still finished 27 seconds behind Eli Tomac. And then Justin Barsha was 44 seconds behind Eli Tomac. So they both had a pretty...
Yeah, that's what I meant. 15 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, they both. I mean, Eli Tomac was just dominating everyone. Typical Eli Tomac fashion. Of course, Marvin had his problems, but them two were just hauling all weekend. Yeah, it was crazy, though. Just every lap they're coming around, the fans are going crazy out there. Definitely a lot more Eli Tomac fans than Marvin Musquin fans, though. That's for sure. Everyone's happy whenever Eli Tomac comes around in first.
Yeah, America, I guess,
America. And dude, this is building up into Redbud next week, so it's really
Redbud, Super America.
Yeah, exactly. On July 4th weekend. Wow. And obviously with the current beef that's already been happening between these two riders.
Yeah, we talked about it on the last podcast.
We've been talking about it for since Supercross.
Well, yeah, but we brought it back again.
But yeah, so it was just it was a good first moto. So yeah, Eli Tomac won that one. Marvin Musquin got 2nd. Justin Barsha got 3rd. Blake Baggett, number 4, finishing in 4th. That was his spot. Just lots of 4s for Blake Baggett, which I'm sure it's got to be frustrating. He should be up there on the podium.
Yeah, right off the podium, man.
He needs one soon. He's got to get one soon. He's due.
Yeah, he's due, exactly.
Same with Ken Roxon. He got 5th after leading some of this race. Benny Bloss got 6th. Lorenzo, 7th place on that new ride right there. So great finish for him in that first moto.
Yeah, definitely. That was impressive. He actually came up too. He made a couple passes up to 7th place. At one point he was around 12th, 13th place, and then every lap he was passing someone, and he ended up 7th. Good for him.
Yep, Cooper Webb making his return, 8th place. He was very consistent all day. That's kind of just where he was. Weston Pike, 9th place, had some problems all day. Philip Nicoletti, 10th place. Chris Canning, 11th. Henry Miller, 12th. Jake Masterpool, 13th. Dylan Merriam, 14th. Heath Harrison, 15th. Brandon Leith, 16th. Ryan Dowd, 17th. Justin Bogle right there in the 18th. Dare DeMartzel, 19th. And Robert Marshall, who we talked about with that fast qualifying time, was your top 20th. Yeah. Justin Hill finished in 21st. Apparently he had some problems. I think he had to get stitches and something. So I think actually Weston Pike ran him over. So
Well, somebody's trying to be the only guy.
Yeah, Justin Hill posted this photo, and it says, "Thanks for the tire marks, bro," and said at Weston Pike. And then the meme says, "When Pike Tyson sees me laid out in the first corner." And it's got this guy with just like a face of a guy just like kind of half smiling, like tricky smile. And then he says, "It's free real estate." So yeah, it definitely seems like Pike ran his teammate over.
Yeah, he's trying to be the only JGR guy, man. Now with Bogle in the way too, you know?
Yeah. Well, Pike did still do better than Bogle in this first race. Pike was 9th, and Bogle faded all the way to 18th, as we said. So definitely looking better for Pike, but the cameras were on Eli and Marvin this entire race after Barsha and Roxon faded a little bit. So they didn't really show many other riders. The battle was up front.
They didn't need to, though. Yeah, they didn't need to. It was great. It was a great race. And like you said, everything we wanted to see. And it's funny you said that Bogle was the best rider for JGR this weekend.
Well, he definitely garnered the most attention, that's for sure. And I guess as a sponsor, maybe that's what you want.
Yeah, it's about that.
Oh, speaking of Bogle, so let's talk about the second moto. He grabs a hole shot and then he does like that little no-footer thing.
yeah, the Bogle swag.
Yeah, he was just celebrating out there.
Or leg swag.
I wonder if subconsciously he knew that the hole shots was like his money maker, and he's like, yo, he just celebrated like, yo, that's all I'm going to get is these hole shots. And then subconsciously checked out and started to fade. Maybe that was his problem. But you got to credit him with getting those 2 hole shots, making his return. That's back in a bang.
Maybe they had a little inside bet between them. You know, they bet like on the hole shots, like who's gonna get the hole shot between them and stuff. And Bogle's like, hell yeah, I got it. You know, $100.
Well, he definitely is going to be getting that motorsport money for the hole shot. So
yeah,
good
there you
for him.
go. See.
And yeah, it was the same thing. It was the same thing in this race, though. Once he got the whole shot, and then Musquin quickly moved to first past him. So it was short-lived again, but he got his whole shot, his name out there. Everyone talked about him for a minute. So good first race back. We'll see if he can step it up a little bit for Redbud.
Yeah, he got a little camera time. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, and then so Musquin quickly got by Bogle, took over that first place spot. And then Nicoletti was running 3rd behind Bogle. And then Roxon was running 4th behind Nicoletti. And then Tomac was behind them. And everybody moved past Bogle, it seemed like.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, Tomac passed Roxon, and then they all passed Bogle. So
yeah, everybody stayed together and made the pass.
So here we go again. Starting from the beginning of this race, we see exactly what we want to see. Musquin in first, Tomac in second. Except Eli catches Musquin and passes him pretty quick with not much of a battle. And it just looked like he was just going to check out, like it was over. It was just like, boom, caught him, he's gone again. So then when this is happening, they start showing like some of the other riders, you know, Barsham, Bogle, battle it out. Roxon's there in 3rd. Baggett right there, 4th again, number 4.
Yep.
Bogle couldn't really hold off anybody. It seemed like everybody just went up to him and just passed him like really easy. Like I know he tried to like make like one kind of block pass, but it was just like everyone passed him. Benny Bloss catches up. He passed him. We did see Barsha and Roxon battle a little bit for that 3rd place position.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really dramatic and exciting because Eli Tomac goes down, gets a little sketchy in his front end, high sides over the front, and Marvin right on his tail.
Yeah,
it makes this a close race.
He used the same technique, but, you know, reverse psychology him.
Yeah, we see his bike is definitely a little mangled up. He's hitting the levers in the air, and it just looks weird, but actually, it was weird because I was like, all right, here we go. We got a good battle now, you know. Give Eli the handicap of having a messed up bars and a messed up bike. And still, Eli actually started to pull away again. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I know. Everybody at that point, I feel like it was like that. It was like, all right, well, I guess he's good. He's good. All right, go. But yeah, it wasn't too long.
Yeah, 10 minutes left in the race. Eli Tomac, they don't show his crash, but they do show him lifting his bike up and Marvin passing him for first place. Boom.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was it for Eli. He could not catch Marvin after that. Marvin wins doing a little heel clicker and breaks the streak. The streak is over.
I know, man. That's huge. That's probably more important than anything else. The fact that Marvin actually got him, you know, put in the France flag on top of everything, because like I said in the last podcast, I said It was a great day for France. It was Muskin won, Ferrandis won, France won in the World Cup. They advanced to the next round. So it was just all around winning for France that day.
Yeah, winning. I think this could be a turning point in the season. Who knows what happens if Eli, is he going to keep making these mistakes? Did Marvin just get that extra boost in confidence? And we saw when Shane McElrath won his moto, he just won the overall, and then he comes out and pulls both the whole shots in the 250. So we know that confidence boost, that's a big thing. That plays a big part in this.
Yeah, the KTM boys figure it out, how to beat Eli Tomac, and let's see if they can continue doing it throughout the rest of the season for sure.
Yeah, so Marvin Musquin won, Eli Tomac got second, Justin Barcia got third, Blake Baggett right there in fourth place. That was his number this weekend, that 4, just not good enough to get on the podium, and you can't say he did bad at all. So he's right there in fourth. Ken Roxon was fifth. Ken Roxon was not happy with how he riding. He said on Instagram, "Oh boy, struggle bus today. All I can do is keep my head up and work. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but we are healthy, and I get to keep working towards my dreams and goals." Because he was right up front, and he just faded. He faded hardcore. He should have been able to at least get a podium. He was in the position, just couldn't hold on.
He had it, but exactly. I keep going back to the same story, man. He needs to get in better shape. He's not 100%, but he's definitely battling. He can definitely battle. It's just a matter of being in shape, dude. Just get back to the Ken Roxon that we know that it could be, And he's coming from 2 broken arms back to back, pretty much. That's a lot of time off, man. That's a lot of progress these guys have made. That's a lot of steps back that he has, done. So he needs to just get a little better, a little healthier, and he can definitely hang out there. It's on him.
It's on him. And moving on, Benny Bloss got 6th place. Lorenzo Locurcio, another 7th place. So he's going 7-7 in Moto 1 and Moto 2 aboard that new ride he's got. So great weekend for him. Just killing it.
Yeah, good weekend. He did the same thing as the first race. He came back from about 12th, 13th place all the way up to 7th. So another one that has the speed, and now he's getting a little more confident. And maybe he'll get a better result next week, and we'll see if this is a confidence boost for him as well.
Definitely. And Philip Nicoletti was 8th. Cooper Webb, 9th place this one. Brandon Leith up to 10th place in this race. Weston Pike, 11th. Joseph Crown, 12th. Kyle Cunningham, 13th. Nick Gaines, 14th. Chris Canning, 15th. Cody Cooper, 16th. Kate Otterith, 17th. I should have had you say that one. Dare DeMartle, 18th. Jeremy Smith, 19th. Justin Bogle, 20th. So not the greatest results for Bogle. Cooper Webb did way better than Bogle, obviously, in this race. Cooper Webb ended up finishing 8th overall. Yep. And Justin Bogle, 23 overall. So Justin Bogle unable to score any, or actually he did get 4 points out of this race. So it could have been worse.
Do you think Busiglia would have gotten a 7th place?
No, definitely not. But I don't know. We didn't get to see. He's just always too hurt. So
like we said, Marvin Musquin with the overall over Eli in 2nd place. Barcia in 3rd place. Blake Baggett, 4th.
Consistent 3rd place for Barcia. Barcia is definitely letting everyone know he's a top 3 guy, and he's going to get top 3.
Yeah, he's a great rider, man. He's looking good with his Yamaha, and I really can't wait for next year's Supercross. He's definitely going to be a contender for that championship.
I would like to see Barcia, get up there and battle it more with Marvin and Eli for 1st place. It's not he's not that far behind.
I think
got to crank it up a little bit.
Definitely can. He definitely can. Blake Baggett in 4th, Ken Roxon in 5th, Benny Bloss in 6th. Those guys, they're pretty consistent as well. The only thing that changed were the first 2 guys.
Yep.
So all the way to 7th place. Who's Lorenzo Locurcio, Cooper Webb with 8th place, Nicoletti in 9th, Weston Pike in 10th.
Yeah, there you go. Weston Pike getting his 10th overall.
Yeah, top 10. Woohoo.
Sitting 6th in the points right now. Blake Baggett's in 5th. Roxon's 4th in the points. And then 1, 2, 3 is Tomac, Marvin, Barcia. Yeah,
Justin Barcia still has a little, we'll see what he can do in the next couple of weeks. Maybe he'll figure out the way also like Marvin did to beat Tomac. But Tomac's still going to carry the red plate, and Marvin's just going to have to work a little harder, see if he can do it again.
Yeah, Barcia's going to need some help from Tomac. because he's like, 65 points behind. So
Yeah.
Tomac's got to miss like a couple races if Barcia wants to make a run at this. But hey, it could happen, bro. We saw him crash twice in one moto. So
That's right. Yeah.
Imagine if he would have got injured on any of those crashes. I mean, it flips everything upside down. So that could happen next week and any week. You never know.
Yeah,
so,
it could happen to anyone. Yeah, like, it happened in the 250s happening, so.
Jason Anderson's still sitting 10th in the points. So top 10.
Nice.
That's definitely not going to last long. Kyle Cunningham is there in 11th. And yeah, Dylan Merriam, I mean, he's definitely going to be losing that, but it looks good for Eli. And it also looks kind of good for Marvin. So we're going to have to, Redwood is going to say a lot about this points. Is it going to be close? Who's going to gain some points? Who's going to lose some points? I don't know.
It's about to get interesting. We're halfway through the championship, so there's a lot of good racing to come in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, Eli Tomac. Speaking of Eli Tomac, Eli said, dreaming of another track on the MX schedule and redemption of the dork front end tuck in Moto 2. So he's upset with his little high side there, and he likes the sand, and he thinks we need another sand track, and I kind of agree with him. I like these sand races. I wouldn't mind seeing another sand track on the schedule.
It was nice. It was nice to see. It was definitely a great race. The track was awesome. The people at Southwick did great, fantastic job, and it was definitely enjoyable watching it.
Cooper Webb said, first race back is in the books. 8th and 9th for 8th overall. Southwick was hot and rough, to say the least. It was rough. That last moto was super rough. It was like the turns were just like waves. It was just like holes around the whole entire turn. He said, I have a lot of work to do to catch up, but man, it is nice to be back at the races. And, solid return, top 10, 8th overall. Probably not too much to complain about there, but I know everyone wants to see him do a little bit better. Justin Bogle said, rough first race back. It's been a long time since I've lined up, so I'll take it, learn from it, and just keep going till I'm back. Thanks to my team, la-da-da-da. So, got his whole shots. He'll take that. Another great weekend, though, for Benny Bloss. He said 6-6 today. Track was tough, and the heat was brutal, but we made it out. 6 rounds to go. He's not getting much talk, but consistently, boom, 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 he's up there.
No, I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago. I said, watch him. He's been getting better and better. He's getting fast. I even picked him to be up there. I thought he was going to be. He ended up having bad luck, but I remember saying, watch. He looked good. He looks good in practice, and I feel like he's getting really comfortable in that KTM.
And Weston Pike said Southwick was a brutal race, rough, hot, and way too many crashes in one weekend. So he definitely had a lot of problems, and I'm surprised he didn't say anything about running his teammate over. So we'll have to stay tuned and see if we can find out exactly what happened to those two.
This is what Chad Reed said, summer vacation, take 2.
All right, well, since we're talking about people who didn't race this weekend, Kyle Chisholm posted again. He said, "Yep, bike's still available. Had a lot of interest, but then CR22 stole all my customers."
Whoa.
Speaking of Chad Reed, but then he said, "Haha, just kidding." But in all seriousness, he's like, "Just kidding, no, but really."
But for real.
Yeah. So yeah, he's still trying to sell his bike, 7,900. I just thought that was funny. So
that is pretty.
There
funny.
you go. Get your Honda, Ricky Fowler graphics.
It's still available.
So yeah, Southwick is in the books, and it was just a great race. I'm excited for Redbud. Is there anything else we should add to this one?
Will Adam pick somebody else than Eli Tomac for the win next weekend?
Ooh, that is a good question. Everyone will have to stay tuned to find out.
Episode 91. Peace.
That's right.
That's the next one.